Hello, cats and kittens. Orewa Jose Yoroshku. I'm back in the Crisis Corner on Manga Mondays with my impressions of One Piece 1106 on your side. Finally get some, not finally, we get to pay off a portion of the payoff that we've been waiting for in terms of Bonnie, Luffy, Vegapunk. We'll get into that in a second, but we get a portion of that payoff in this chapter. Good chapter, solid chapter. A little bit more uh, build up than well. At least we get the. The major thing is we got the answer as to who was coming to Egghead and what that means to the balance of this arc. So that payoff was outstanding, unexpected, left field, in my opinion, left field. Not left field in a bad way, like contrived, but I didn't see it coming. Not many probably did. Anyway, the chapter even starts off that first panel, which I kind of misinterpreted, where it says, "Look at them go at it," just like the paper said. I was kind of confused as to who was saying that, but now as I put it together, that's Dorian Broggy coming towards the naval, the Buster Call fleet. We'll get to that at the final panel, but that's Dorian Broggy approaching Egghead. So there's that. Getting into the chapter, we see that Luffy has finally finished digesting the food that he ate. And the Marines, for some reason, just didn't do nothing until he finished digesting their food, which kind of, why don't the Marines why don't they give the Marines, I'm not saying, anyway, just give them sea stone bullets so that, when they come across the ability to use a devil fruit user, they just shoot them. But that would end, chapters very quickly. So I get it. Anyway, so they let him digest his meal, and he, recovers. All right. Um, the interesting thing here, one side issue, the just speaking to how evil Saturn is, just in my mind, he's just the words that he says. Shoot that foolish family once and for all. I think he said that at the end of the last chapter too. That's it. Just gives you an idea how who would even say something like that. Shoot that foolish family once and for all. Unless you was talking about Hitler or something like that. That's an evil thing to say. Shoot a family. Wow. He's pretty low. He's low. Saturn has to go. He has to die. He just has to. I don't know who's going to do it, whatever, but he got to be the first of the Gorosei to die. And if they're all like him, then obviously they all have to go. Anyway, we return to the plummeting situation of Bonnie, Coma, Vegapunk 5, which is what? Atlas or something like that, and Frankie. They've been falling for quite some time. Vegapunk decides that this is the time to inform Bonnie that he actually put a failsafe into all of the Kuma clones, that they are to obey her orders even more, she has a higher authority level to control the what you call pacifista, even higher authority than the Gorosei. Okay, now you say this. At any time she could have been shot in this little adventure. And he decides to bring this up. Nah, it's a good time. It's a good time to bring it up because they're about to get blasted out of the air. But, earlier in this chapter, she could have been gunned down, by they encountered actually pacifista or one of the police on Egghead that took pot shots at her and Luffy. Had she known that she could control them, obviously they could have avoided that situation, but better late than never. So he informs her that she actually has control of the pacifista, to which she gives them the counter order: don't shoot us, help us escape the island, shoot those Marines. Okay, that changes the game. Uh, it changes the whole game. The Seraphim begin blasting the Marines. Now the issue of getting off of Egghead seems a bit more tenable. Clearly, they're not going to be killed. There's not. Yeah, the threat level has diminished a bit. This Buster Call really don't mean that much at this point because I count five Pacifista plus the Seraphim, the Kuma Seraphim, who's on there. Yeah, so that's six. Then you got Gear Fifth, Luffy, and the rest of the Straw Hats. They should be good. It should be good. And plus, at the end of the chapter, we'll see that Dorian Bragi showed up. So escape is not really that much of an issue. It's just a matter of execution at this point. I mean, executing their escape. So the Seraphim commenced to blast in the Navy, the Marines, and after this explanation, my man Vegapunk, he states, this is what I did, blah, blah, blah. And he said, I know that this was going to have consequences. And right on cue, Saturn lances him through the back. Looked like it's coming out the right side of his chest. Now, like Star Wars in the One Piece world, being stabbed, being, gutted don't really mean a whole lot right off the break. I mean, unless maybe an ace or somebody like that. But, people routinely get lanced in all kinds of manners and they survive. Chopper should probably be able to stitch him back together. Or however, their flags have been flying over this man for quite some time. I doubt he'll make it to Elbaf. He probably, bleed out on the sunny or something like that. They might have to bury him at sea. I'm not sure. But yeah, Saturn gets his pound of flesh, stabs him in the back, which is par for the course for somebody of Saturn's. He's a despicable dude. That's what you do. Then he gives an order to Kizaru to take out Bonnie and Kuma. And I'm still trying to understand exactly where Kizaru falls in this. Backtrack a little bit. Sanji was on his way up to help the falling, well, Bonnie, he said. He was skywalking up to help Bonnie. And I am curious as to what his plan was. Because the not the Seraphims, the Pacifista five Pacifista was about to open fire on them. I'm just curious as to what his plan was. We'll never find out, but I am curious as to what his plan was. So Kizaru opens fire on Bonnie, Kuma, Frankie, Atlas, hit all of them. Looks like Sanji deflected at least one of the blasts. Personally, I would have gave Sanji a moment here to at least maybe something equal to his encounter with Don Quixote, Doflamingo. Give him a little bit of run, maybe have him at least get a couple of kicks in on Kizaru before getting swatted down. But that doesn't happen. He gets hit like everybody else. I can't see exactly where he got hit, but he got hit. And Kizaru is about to. He says he's going to cut both Bonnie and Kuma in half. He said, "Don't worry, Ward. I think you're lying. I'm pretty sure getting cut in half hurts at least a little bit. You probably should have said it won't hurt for long. But getting bisected probably is going to hurt. But again, doesn't matter. Gear Fifth Luffy, long range, swats him with a hockey punch and sends him flying. So he's back in Gear Fifth. Kizaru, he either sees it and can't react in time. I'm not sure if he's using observation. Yeah, I think he's just turned at the last second just in time to get hit. So he gets knocked down. One of the payoffs that we do get is that Bonnie gets to see Luffy in Gear 5. And I'm kind of thinking that, you know, Kuma, for whatever degree of mental faculties that he has, I hope if there's any justice, he got to see Luffy in Gear 5. It's not expressly, I think he does. Because in that little panel, what's that page? Is page 415. You know, where you got Bonnie with a little tear in her eye, and then Luffy laughing. Then you see that panel with Kuma. It's like a little. I think he did get to see it, and then you got the Vegapunk explaining that he's Sun God Nika. You know, and the giant robot is he hasn't got up yet. He hasn't started moving, but he's still, I don't know, coming to life or whatever. So he's got to factor into this at some point. Yeah, Vegapunk's laid out pretty bad, but he does explain to her this is the dude that Kuma was right. Kuma was right. Dude is Sun God Nika. You know, your old man was right. So I thought I like that payoff. I like the fact that Bonnie got to see this, and this will probably affect her distorted future since she no longer has any doubt as to Kuma's existence. They might get up and double team Saturn. I don't know. You know, she can't do Gear Fifth. She can still use that distorted future, basically Gear Third type situation. So again, getting off the island really is just a foregone conclusion. They're going to Elbath. They're leaving this island. Matter of fact, this the the Marines the ones that need help with this one. They're getting decimated. They're catching it from the Seraphim. They're catching it from. Turn the page. You see, they catching it from Dorian Broggy, or they just let into these ships. I mean, it's done. I'm assuming that is. I'm wondering if there are any more giants on that ship other than Dorian Broggy. If so, they're in trouble. This will be over quickly. It's just a matter of they'll depart. They'll leave easily. I just want to find out what happened to Rob Lucci. Did Zoro kill him and he's just been lost trying to get back to the crew? Or I hope he defeated him. And he, like I said, he should be wearing his fur as a coat. You know, I don't want to hear about Zoro having no trouble with Rob Lucci. I'm sorry, that's disappointing to me. But the big payoff is that it is Dorian Broggy. And they've been monitoring the situation. It's in the news, and they came over to get Luffy. They're there for a purpose. This ain't no accident. So they come over there to pick him up. I don't know if that was at the behest of Shanks because he was in Elbath. Maybe he said, "Yo, could y'all go over there and get my boy and bring him over here?" He probably was like, I'm tired. I just finished dusting off the what you call them kid pirates, my back hurts, whatever. Y'all go get him, whatever. But I am curious as to whether Shanks actually sent them there or they just went over there because whatever. But I'm thinking Shanks is still in Elbath and they're probably going to go there and meet him. So that's cool. That's a good way to go into the break. Because, yes, I believe they're on break this week. So it's a good drop off point. Uh, I want to see the full impact of Bonnie's reaction to Luffy being, Nika. This is a big deal. So I do want to see that. Otherwise, yeah, I'm happy with this chapter. I'm very happy, and the payoff was a shocker. I mean, I didn't see Dorian Broggy coming into this. My money was on who did I say? I think I said it was going to be the Revolutionary Army. That's what I was banking on. Revolutionary Army, or yeah, I think that's what I was banking on. Let me know your thoughts. Like I said, rock solid transitional type chapter. It's a little bit more than a transitional type chapter, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And then, as always, I'm looking forward to the next chapter. Again, let me know your thoughts, comment. Till next week, the week after next, stay loose. One piece.